G'day, everyone, and welcome back to Aussie Real Estate Riches.
Yeah,
Ready to
I know I am.
dive into some regional markets that are absolutely on fire.
Definitely.
We're talking about areas that are attracting both investors
Yeah.
and those looking for a lifestyle change.
Yeah.
Think beaches, vineyards,
Hmm.
and yes, even affordable housing.
That's the dream, isn't it?
It is. It is.
It's fascinating to see this shift towards regional areas.
Yeah.
It's not just a passing fad, you know?
Yeah.
It's driven by some fundamental changes in how we live and work these days.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Today, we're focusing on 3 regional gems that are really grabbing attention.
Okay, let's hear it.
The Sunshine Coast in Queensland,
Okay, I love it.
Geelong down in Victoria,
Yeah, familiar with that one.
and the Hunter Valley in New South Wales.
Ah, beautiful spot.
Let's kick things off on the Sunshine Coast.
All right.
I mean, picture this
Yeah.
pristine beaches,
Oh, yeah.
that lush hinterland we all love, and a relaxed vibe that's hard to beat.
Hmm.
Who wouldn't want to escape to a place like that?
I know I would.
Yeah, me too.
The Sunshine Coast is a great example of how lifestyle can really drive demand in the property market.
Yeah.
People are putting a premium on well-being and a better work-life balance,
Yeah.
and the Sunshine Coast delivers that in spades.
Absolutely. And let's not forget the affordability factor.
Right.
Compared to Brisbane, you're getting a lot more bang for your buck on the Sunshine Coast.
Definitely.
That's a huge draw for both investors and those looking to make a move without breaking the bank.
Sure.
Did you know you can still find a 3-bedroom house on the Sunshine Coast for around $750,000,
Wow.
while a comparable property in Brisbane would easily cost you over $1 million?
That's incredible.
That's a pretty significant difference.
Huge difference.
Yeah.
Affordability is definitely key, but it's not
Yeah.
the only factor driving growth.
Okay, what else is there?
The Sunshine Coast is seeing some serious infrastructure development.
Oh, tell me more.
The airport is undergoing a $347 million expansion to accommodate more flights.
Wow, it's a lot.
They're adding 2 new hospitals in the next 5 years,
Okay.
and new shopping centers are popping up all over the place.
It's really evolving.
It's evolving into a hub for families and professionals,
Yeah.
not just a vacation spot.
So it's not just about escaping the city.
No,
It's about having access to quality amenities and services, right?
exactly right. And with all these people moving in,
Yeah.
rental demand is skyrocketing,
Makes sense.
which translates into some potentially solid returns for investors.
Okay, so we've got a desirable location, growing infrastructure, increasing demand,
Yeah.
and strong rental yields.
Ticking all the boxes.
It sounds like a pretty compelling recipe for property investment success.
It definitely is a market to watch.
All right, on to the next one then.
Speaking of affordability, Geelong in Victoria offers another compelling option
Okay,
for those looking for a bit of a sea change.
love it.
Imagine a city with a thriving economy, beautiful waterfront areas,
Mhm.
and a strong sense of community, all just an hour from Melbourne.
You know, I recently visited a friend who moved to Geelong,
Oh, yeah.
and I was blown away by the waterfront development.
Really?
It's got this cool urban vibe now,
That's what I heard.
with new restaurants and bars popping up everywhere.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
It doesn't feel like just a sleepy commuter town anymore.
Exactly. Geelong's really diversifying its economy.
Yeah.
Deakin University is expanding,
Oh, wow.
and we're seeing tech companies and advanced manufacturing setting up shop.
Oh, very cool.
It's becoming a destination in its own right.
Yeah, I can see that.
Has really changed a lot.
And the best part is you can still snag a property in Geelong at a much better price than in Melbourne.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's like getting the city lifestyle without the city price tag.
That's the sweet spot Geelong offers.
Yeah.
You've got city amenities and a solid job market,
Mm-hmm.
but with the affordability and lifestyle perks of a regional area.
Yeah, I love that.
Plus, the Geelong waterfront is undergoing a billion-dollar transformation
Really? Wow.
with new hotels, restaurants. Oh, wow.
And even a proposed convention center.
Oh, that's exciting.
This is attracting investors from all over.
It's like the best of both worlds.
It really is.
High-quality living without the sky-high prices.
Exactly.
I bet that's driving up demand and property values in Geelong.
Absolutely.
What kind of returns are investors seeing in this market?
Well, rental demand is through the roof.
Okay.
Vacancy rates are super low.
Oh, wow.
And property values are steadily climbing.
It's pretty good.
For investors who are looking for both capital growth and a solid rental income,
Yeah.
Geelong is ticking a lot of boxes.
Okay. So Geelong is definitely one to watch.
For sure.
Now let's head up north to New South Wales and talk about the Hunter Valley.
Okay.
Wine country, stunning scenery, and a foodie's paradise.
Sounds pretty good to me.
It truly feels like a permanent vacation.
The Hunter Valley is a classic example of a lifestyle destination attracting more and more people who are choosing to make it their permanent home.
Yeah.
And it's not just retirees and holidaymakers anymore. I can see why. Rolling vineyards, charming towns, incredible food and wine. It's a dream.
It's idyllic.
It is. But let's be realistic. Is it actually affordable to live there?
You might be surprised.
Oh.
The Hunter Valley offers incredible value for money,
Okay,
especially when you compare it to Sydney.
that's a good point.
Plus, it's drawing in a new wave of remote workers who are seeking that perfect blend of scenic living and career flexibility.
So it's not just about escaping the city.
Right.
It's about embracing a whole new way of life.
Exactly. The demographics are changing.
Oh, interesting.
Young professionals, families, and creatives are all finding their place in the Hunter Valley.
Wow.
And that's driving a whole new wave of demand for both residential and rental properties.
Okay, so we've got beautiful beaches on the Sunshine Coast, a booming regional city in Geelong,
Yep.
and picturesque wine country in the Hunter Valley.
3 very different options.
It's hard to pick a favorite.
I know, right?
What should investors be thinking about when they're comparing these 3 hotspots?
That's a great question. And it really comes down to your individual investment goals and your risk tolerance.
Okay.
If you're after strong rental yields and potential for capital growth in a well-established market,
Yeah.
Geelong might be your best bet.
And for those who prioritize lifestyle and a more relaxed pace,
Mm-hmm.
maybe the Sunshine Coast is the winner.
Could be.
What about the Hunter Valley?
Yeah.
Is it more of a long-term play?
The Hunter Valley is interesting because its growth is closely tied to tourism and the rise of remote work.
Okay.
While the potential is definitely there,
Yeah.
it might be a slower burn compared to Geelong or the Sunshine Coast.
Something to keep in mind for those who are in it for the long haul.
Exactly.
Before we wrap up, let's dig into some specific suburbs and property types within these regions.
Okay, sounds good.
Where should people be focusing their research?
Let's start with the Sunshine Coast.
All right.
Caloundra and Maroochydore are great starting points for your research.
Okay.
They're attracting a lot of attention,
Yeah.
and for good reason.
I love Caloundra.
Yeah.
It's got that classic Aussie beach town vibe.
Yeah.
And Maroochydore is more bustling
Mm-hmm.
with lots of shopping centers and entertainment options.
Exactly. Caloundra offers that laid-back coastal lifestyle,
Yeah.
while Maroochydore is more of a regional hub with lots of amenities and job opportunities.
Makes sense.
Both have their own unique appeal for different buyers and investors.
Okay, so within each region, we've got different vibes and different types of buyers.
For sure.
What about property types?
Yeah.
Are we talking houses, apartments, units?
Mm-hmm.
What's performing well in these markets?
On the Sunshine Coast, detached houses are still king,
Yeah.
especially for families who want space and that classic Aussie backyard.
Yeah, I could see that.
But we're also seeing growing demand for townhouses and units.
Oh, okay.
Especially in those hub areas like Maroochydore,
Okay.
where convenience and affordability are top priorities.
So if you're after a traditional family home,
Yeah.
maybe focus on the quieter areas.
Yeah, I think that's a good strategy.
But if you're targeting young professionals or investors,
Yeah.
the units closer to the action might be a better fit.
You got it.
Yeah.
Now, shifting gears to Geelong.
Okay.
Remember how we talked about its strong local economy?
Yes.
Well, that's driving demand for a broader range of property types.
Okay.
We're seeing strong performance in houses units and even townhouses across different price points.
Geelong sounds quite diverse in terms of what's hot.
It is.
Are there any particular areas within Geelong that are standing out from the crowd?
The waterfront areas are always in high demand, of course.
Of course.
But we're also seeing a surge of interest in the inner suburbs,
Okay.
which offer a blend of period homes and modern developments.
Yeah.
It really depends on your budget and lifestyle preferences.
Okay, I'm getting a good feel for Geelong.
Yeah.
What about the Hunter Valley?
Yeah.
With its wineries and tourism focus, I'm guessing the property landscape is a bit different there.
You're right. In the Hunter Valley, it's less about specific suburbs and more about the overall experience.
Okay.
Lifestyle properties, acreage with vineyards,
Yeah.
charming cottages, and those quaint towns. That's what draws people in.
Sounds idyllic.
It really is.
Imagine waking up to the rolling vineyards,
Mhm.
grabbing a coffee at a local artisan bakery,
Yeah.
and spending your weekends exploring cellar doors and farmers markets.
It's a dream.
That's the Hunter Valley lifestyle.
Exactly.
But what about those who are looking for more traditional investment properties?
Yeah. Are there any pockets of the Hunter Valley that are particularly appealing?
Cessnock and Maitland are good examples.
Okay.
They offer affordability and are close to the vineyards, making them attractive for both residents and tourists.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We're seeing some good rental yields in those areas,
Okay.
especially for properties that cater to the short-term rental market.
So tapping into that tourist demand is a smart strategy in the Hunter Valley.
For sure.
It's like having your own little getaway that also generates income.
Exactly. And speaking of strategies.
Let's talk about some different approaches investors can consider in these regional markets.
Okay.
We've already touched on long-term rentals and short-term holiday lets. Are there any other strategies investors should have on their radar?
Well, one strategy that's gaining traction is land banking.
Oh, yeah, that's an interesting one.
This involves buying vacant land in areas that are projected to see significant growth in the future.
Yeah, you're thinking long-term with that one.
It's a longer-term play, but it can offer substantial returns if you choose your location wisely.
Right.
It's all about anticipating where the growth is heading.
It is. It's like having a crystal ball almost.
So it's a bit of a calculated gamble with the potential for big rewards.
Yeah, for sure.
But is land banking suitable for all types of investors?
Not necessarily.
Okay, why not?
It requires patience, a good understanding of zoning regulations,
Yeah, it's important.
and the financial capacity to hold on to that land for a while.
So it's not a quick flip.
No, not at all. It's
Yeah.
not for the faint of heart.
Okay, so land banking is a bit more specialized.
Yeah, definitely.
What about something for the average investor who's maybe looking for a more hands-on approach?
Renovating or flipping properties can be a profitable strategy in regional markets,
Right.
especially if you can find those undervalued gems with good bones.
Okay.
With some sweat equity and clever renovations, you can significantly boost a property's value and either sell it for a profit or hold on to it as a long-term rental.
The classic fixer-upper.
That's the one.
There's something so satisfying about transforming a diamond in the rough.
It is rewarding.
But renovations come with their own set of challenges.
Absolutely.
Like what?
You need to have a realistic budget,
Okay.
factor in unexpected costs,
Yeah, there are always those.
and be prepared for potential delays.
It's the tough part.
Yeah. It's not for everyone, but it can be a very rewarding strategy if you have the skills and the patience.
Okay, so we've got long-term rentals, short-term holiday, let's land banking and renovations. It seems like there are plenty of options for investors in these regional markets.
Yeah. Lots of possibilities.
But before we get too carried away with all the possibilities,
Yeah, good point.
let's talk about some of the potential downsides.
Okay, let's do that.
What are the things that investors should be cautious about in these regional markets?
Over-reliance on a single industry is a big one.
Yeah.
Many regional areas depend heavily on tourism, mining, or agriculture.
Yeah, that's true.
If those industries take a hit, it can ripple through the entire local economy.
So diversification is key.
Right.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly.
What else should investors be wary of?
Infrastructure limitations are another consideration.
Okay.
While these regional areas are experiencing growth, they might not have the same level of infrastructure as major cities.
I see.
Think about transport links,
Yeah.
healthcare facilities,
Yeah.
and schools.
Those are crucial factors for attracting and retaining residents, which ultimately drives property demand. What else is on your list of potential pitfalls?
Overpaying for properties that are caught up in the hype cycle is a common mistake.
Yeah, you can get caught up in the excitement.
It's easy to do. Just because everyone's talking about a particular area doesn't mean it's a guaranteed winner.
Right.
Do your research, compare prices,
Yeah.
and make sure you're getting good value for your money.
Don't just jump on the bandwagon.
Right.
Do your due diligence and look beyond the hype. This is where having a trusted local expert, like a buyer's agent, can be invaluable.
Oh, absolutely.
They can help you navigate these markets and make informed decisions.
They can be your eyes and ears on the ground. They have local knowledge, access to off-market properties,
Oh, that's a good one.
and can negotiate on your behalf.
So it's worth it.
It's a worthwhile investment, especially in unfamiliar markets.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground today, from specific suburbs and property types to investment strategies and potential pitfalls.
We have.
It's clear that regional Australia offers some fantastic opportunities.
It does.
But it's important to approach these markets with a balanced perspective.
Couldn't agree more.
Do your homework, understand the risks, and seek expert advice when needed.
Great advice.
Well, we've reached the end of our deep dive into these Aussie regional markets.
It's been a great discussion.
With the right approach, you might just find your own slice of Australian paradise while also building a solid foundation for your financial future.
Absolutely. The potential is there, for sure.
That's some great advice. Thanks for joining us on Aussie Real Estate Riches.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope this deep dive has inspired you to explore the possibilities beyond the big cities.
I hope so too.
Until next time, happy investing.
And remember,
Stay tuned for more exciting deep dives into the world of Australian real estate.